Alright, chat, hold on, give me a minute. Can you hear me? Test, test, test. Alright, let's see.
Awful. It would be good to finally repair the coffee machine. I guess it was in another life. It won't be needed for the next few months.
Alright, let's find this bathroom. Bathroom.
Okay, time to pull myself together. And get back to work. I need to set up the camera first.
Take the camera from the storage room. No flashlight. Let me see. Hold on, chat. Oh, what the? How did I? Hey, Babel. Storage.
Now remember, Jack, don't forget, hit the record button this time.
Hey, where's the dissection?
Hopefully the new tripod is going to hold up. I just have to get everything in frame. This should be fine. November 20th, 1991. Time, 8:43 p.m. Recording for medical students from the University of Missouri. This autopsy is conducted by Jack Hanman. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the autopsy room. Today, you will have the dubious pleasure of following a full autopsy, step by step. For those of you who have already performed your first autopsy, this will refresh your basic knowledge.
Apron, gloves, mask, goggles.
Only theoretical. I advise not to watch this after a meal.
Okay, so where is that stuff? Take a look at the chalkboard. I did.
Let's start.
Tell students what's important. What is important in this?
Always wear an apron, mask, and gloves. Goggles are a must when the job is splashy. And in case of sharp accidents, it's worth having disinfectants at hand. It's true that you won't get ptomaine poisoning straight away, but if your liver or kidney aren't doing well, you may end up with diarrhea. The cadaver is placed on its back on the autopsy table. The pathologist stands on the right of the deceased. Make sure that all the necessary tools are always at hand so that you don't have to run around looking for something, like I do all the time. In the process of revealing and securing forensic evidence, it is difficult not to interfere with the original condition of the deceased. Written and photographic documentation plays a vital role throughout the entire examination process. During your research, be patient, inquisitive, but above all, attentive to detail. Many entries.
Be sure to smack the like button, guys.
Sometimes they can
It's greatly appreciated.
Interesting stories. And lastly, remember that nothing teaches you self-narration like working with the dead. So get used to that fact soon. Everyone will think you're talking to yourself.
Okay, how do I get out of here?
Now, onto the police folder. That will contain all sorts of pertinent information as to who the deceased might be and what potentially happened to them. So, let's take a closer look, shall we? The deceased's name is Tobias Chambers, locally known as Old Toby. Homeless and unemployed for at least a couple of years. The deceased was found on the outskirts of a parking lot at a gas station, where he often begged and
Appreciate it,
persistently
Wibble.
offered drivers to wash their car windows. The body was noticed by a station employee during the morning shift. Initially, he thought that someone had thrown some boots and a coat in a nearby ditch. It took him a moment to recognize the pile of clothes. Signs of libation were found around the body. Empty bottles, traces of an inept attempt to start a fire, and a scattered makeshift blanket.
Yeah, then put it back there. I say, yeah, put it back there.
Trusted centrifuge. Ideal for all the fluid tests I need to perform during an autopsy. Seems to be set up and ready to go.
Alright, so where's my autopsy stuff? Toby Chambers. Do I got it? Oh, okay. Look through the information provided in the police folder. I already did. But I didn't save.
He worked most of his life at the local port dealing with unloaded cargo. He was fired for being drunk and starting fights. His son runs a hardware store on his own. His wife left him years ago. They both had no contact with the deceased. That's it. It's worth remembering the context around the scene of the death. This allows you to better interpret any traces found on the body. I shouldn't start the procedure without gloves.
I've been trying to put these on the whole time.
Now it's our turn to take some pictures for our files. If I can just remember where I left the camera. It's in here somewhere. A considerable collection.
Where would the camera be? Ah.
Aha! There you are. I knew it was here somewhere. As I mentioned at the beginning, before we begin the internal examination, we need to document the cadaver and the condition it arrived in. We begin with a full body photo. Try and stick to the top-down rule, but this is not always possible. Let's keep in mind it's all about the legibility, not the perfect frame.
Top down. Take a general photo of the deceased. Okay, F.
Voila! Now we move on to the next step, looking for traces. Take your time. Look at the corpse from different sides, from different angles, up close, and from a distance. You're looking for anything out of the ordinary.
What am I? Okay.
That's something interesting. It will be necessary to check whether this injury was severe enough to cause damage to the brain.
Okay.
Some wounds in the feet.
What's this game?
Signs of frostbite, probably because the subject
Autopsy Simulator.
was small.
I just said that. I can't take a picture of that. Oh, take a photo.
A boiler yield wound. Looks old. I'll take a closer look later.
I need one more photo. What? I missed how he died. The body, they found him outside a gas station, I believe. I don't remember. Like, everything's going around, or everybody's moving around. Wasn't paying too much attention. Trying to figure out how to take this nice photo. Well, what else am I supposed to take a picture of? But it could be possible blunt force trauma because he's got this big mark on his forehead. And I need one more photo, and I don't know where to take it. I'm pushing the button. Like, he got scuffs on his knees, but nothing. Find marks on the body to photograph.
Hardened hands, worn out by physical work, and
There you are.
frostbite. In a moment, we will check which of our initial observations will be worthy of further consideration.
Send photos to the board.
I need to write down some basic data.
Okay, it started.
Scalpel, scissors, syringe, magnifying glass, knife. I guess I forgot to clean the knife.
Okay, so where's the knife? How dare you forget to clean it? Where is the knife?
I wasn't sure it would amount to anything, but the World Wide Web has been a blessing for speeding up my work.
Okay, I guess I get started then.
Scalpel, scissors, syringe, magnifying glass, knife. I guess I forgot to clean the knife. Scalpel,
Come on, dude.
scissors, syringe, magnifying glass, knife. I guess I forgot to
Oh,
clean
okay.
the knife. Personal information. The deceased was unclothed. Date. Okay. As you can see, I note everything down on previously prepared forms. Every pathologist must keep a detailed record of every step of the autopsy. This not only allows you to track the procedure, but also collates the results together, upon which you may
Okay, so he doesn't know the cause of death yet because he didn't fill it in.
Let's begin by taking a closer look at the spots I photographed earlier. For this, you're going to need a magnifying glass. Scalpel, scissors.
Alright, dude, you said that already.
I guess I forgot to clean the knife.
You keep saying that, grab the knife. Oh my god, bro.
I guess I forgot to clean the knife.
Fools.
Which spot first? Here we can see frostbite on the fingertips. We can tell by the characteristic skin color. It looks like a burn mark. No doubt painful, but it's not pertinent for this case. I can confirm the presence of ecchymosis on the deceased man's head. The appearance indicates the intravital nature of the wound. Add alcohol, which I can clearly smell, and this was an accident just waiting to happen.
So an accidental death, I presume? How do I, Alright, movement, okay.
Definitely a painful mix of frostbite, abrasions, and blisters. Old Toby had been wearing shoes too small for him for a very long time. That's if he wore any at all. So far, there are a lot of superficial wounds, but only one serious injury to the head. Let's go back to our notes. First, I mark the location of the injuries and make notes for each one. So, we're not in frost season yet. If Toby's body was cold for a prolonged period, the frostbite could have resulted from the body's defense reaction. The safety of the internal organs is more important than fingers, nose,
It's
or
pretty
ears.
interesting.
The head wound. Definitely an important clue. This is something we'll investigate first. Even though this type of wound didn't contribute to the deceased's death, we're still required to record it. As you can see, we don't have much to go on. Let's write down what preliminary causes of death we can think of. Various types of accidents are a common cause of death among the homeless and the elderly. Perhaps old Toby slipped and accidentally hit his head. Considering the conditions in which he slept, his body may have become hypothermic. The nights have been particularly nasty lately. We will check if there are any signs of freezing internally.
Okay.
This is of no interest to us. Since the deceased clearly smelled of alcohol, I'll add alcohol poisoning to our list.
Okay. Put down a clipboard.
Left from the basics. Rigor mortis.
Okay, how do we do that? You like this so far? Yeah, it's pretty good. Pretty good. I like it. It's interesting, I must say. Beetle offers UV lamp. How would I? How would one test for rigor mortis?
Well, we take our deceased by the hand. Gradually we raise it. Now let it go. As you can see, the hand falls loose. What's the conclusion? Death must have occurred more than 72 hours ago. The police information appears correct.
So what that mean? Police data correct, which is
Head trauma seems the most promising, so we'll start there. For this, I need an oscillating saw. The cut is made from ear to ear.
worse.
And the top of the skull.
I can't hardly hear the guy talk. I'm not sure if it's my phone or not. Let me see. Setting audio. Alright, let me know if that's any better.
After the basic examination, we can see that the brain's cerebral gyri in both hemispheres are symmetric. The brain looks good. Let's take a cross-section.
Take a what?
Some pathologists prefer to examine organs without removing them. However, for me, it's much more convenient to examine them on a board, which we'll do now.
Okay, cool.
Holding a long, narrow blade knife in the dominant hand, we slowly cut the cranial nerves on both sides, all the time pulling the brain towards us. Pills. I need my pills. So far, so good. The hematoma seems to have had no effect on the brain.
Okay. I gotta get my pills.
No. No, 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 no. Everything is spinning. Pills. I have to take pills.
So that explains why he's moving like that. I was like, why does it look like that? Okay.
We can rule the fatal accident out as well.
Okay. Okay, so now what? Can I get out of here? I don't know. He had to take those pills. I guess he's got anxiety, or I don't know. To be honest, he was on the phone at the beginning, and then he was like, "Oh, I need my pills." What am I supposed to do here? Possible cause of death.
Brain is in good condition, so we have no choice but to proceed to the internal examination of the other organs. I grab a scalpel from my kit. The incision should be in the shape of a letter Y. We use a deep cut to reach all the way to the ribs and to penetrate the abdominal wall.
This is nasty.
All right, now we peel back and separate the skin.
This is nasty, babe. Wait. Go back. I did not peel it. Okay. Now what? Sir. Like, why can't I read that one? Okay, I don't know what to do. Action. No. get back up there. But Lord. Oh, there we go. Wow, now they move.
We need to remove the ribs. We'll need the loppers for this. Quite a satisfying crunch, for some anyway. After removing the cartilage tissue, we instantly notice two things. Firstly, there is no congestion of the internal organs. This means that although the deceased was hypothermic, it didn't kill him. Secondly, the deceased smoked like a chimney. So, we should take a closer look at those lungs. We can see widespread black and tarry deposits caused by smoke. Despite the tragic condition of the lungs, they are not the cause of death. Alice smoked too. It didn't kill her, but... what was I talking about? Lungs. Yes. Advanced inflammation. Now, the syringe. Now's a good time to collect some samples. Specifically 3. From the eye, the heart, and the bladder. 5 milliliters from the left ventricle should do it. Vitreous humor analysis is very useful in indicating long-term alcohol abuse. Now from the bladder, we draw about 10 milliliters of fluid. Now we take our samples to the centrifuge. But before I do that, I need to find my notebook. Dyscalculia means that I always double-check the settings.
Double check this setting.
Please excuse me while I run and fetch it. This whole thing is covered in stains. I should check this out under the microscope sometime. Let's get back to the examination. We put all of the samples into the rotor.
Hi there.
Now, we set the appropriate time and speed.
Notes. Time 15 minutes, speed 70. Wait, what was it?
Okay, let's roll. Oh shit, the fuses again.
The hell?
Where were we? Oh yes, the blood alcohol concentration. Let's see what we got here. Everything's separated as it should. Our lab is closed until tomorrow after the last, incident. However, considering that Toby's favorite eau de parfum appears to be ethanol, I'm guessing the results won't surprise me at all. Let's go further. We will now focus on the cardiovascular system, specifically the heart. We remove the organ and examine it closely. We look for dark hypoxic areas, clots, or other elements that stand out as abnormal. At first glance, the heart looks fine. The pulmonary trunk and aorta seem to be in good condition. There are no pathological changes that would have contributed to Toby's death. Now let's take a closer look at the stomach. Size is normal, healthy, and as expected, the stomach has no major external damage. We must now cut it open and inspect inside. We will do it carefully so that its contents do not spill out. We open the stomach along the greater curvature, from the heart to the pyloric end. Oh, I already feel like there's something left inside.
Careful. Insane.
What?
Large amount of gas, small amounts of yellow and grayish food content, resembling some kind of meat. Days, or the bulk of his stomach had already found a way out. Looks like I'll have to find the missing contents.
Wrong side.
Alright, he ain't going.
There are two ways here. One is obvious, and the other is... Could have been suffocation. Could it? I'll add this to the list and move on to the deceased's neck. At first glance, the trachea looks normal. Same result as with the stomach. The external inspection doesn't tell us anything. This time we'll cut on a tray. While cutting such a small organ as the trachea, we must make a precise incision.
Wait, so where am I cutting? Oh.
To be able to cut with the very tip of the blade, we must hold the scalpel as we would a pen.
Oh yeah.
And after careful examination and deduction, we've got it. A clogged trachea. It's time to summarize the whole thing. Based on the report and preliminary documentation, it's safe to assume that the deceased passed out after consumption of alcohol and then fell asleep on his back. Then, the gastric contents refluxed and flooded the airways, causing death. That's why we don't forget about the recovery position at dorm parties.
Now what? Are the appropriate manner of death? Asphyxiation.
And now it's all clear. The mystery is solved. But for us, this is not the end. First,
Oh, that motherfucker Davis.
For
Alright.
this, we will need to close the body and grab the needle. First, we
Oh.
unroll the skin flaps.
Alright, chat. I'll be right
We
back.
sew the deceased back up.
right, glorious guard personnel. Actually, I just got it. I mean, people do this as a job, so does that make them a sick motherfucker? Gotta be done, right? Oh wait, I was supposed to be grabbing a syringe, a needle. Oh, come on, man.
I'm using the baseball stitch technique. This stitching method is very strong and quick to do.
Okay, so how do I do it? Select the needle and stitch. Okay. I wanna. Why can't I stitch that part?
If he wants to come with me, he can. Come on. You're gonna be scared down here too, but it's okay. He's trying to get ahead of me.
This game is finicky.
Mom. What have you people been putting in the trash? I just let it out.
Hmm. What is wrong? Should be good, right? Hmm. It doesn't make someone sick to like this game. Yeah, really. Oops. It'd be nice if this was a little bit more easier to do stuff. I mean, how many more are gonna put in? Oh boy. Okay.
Beautiful. Now we say goodbye to the deceased and put them safely in the fridge, ready for the next stage of their journey. God, I'm tired. I'll drop these samples off at the lab on the way to the bar. I'll call Steven. I don't feel like drinking alone today.
Okay, that was the prologue. Thought he was going to the bar. I would imagine one would have nightmares doing this job. Okay, first autopsy done and in the books.
Forgive me. What?
Bro had his shoes on.
Fuck.
Sleep.
I should take my pills.
Definitely at least at first. Yeah, definitely. Where were my pills? Bathroom. Why is it blurry? Oh yeah, because I need my pills.
So much light everywhere. It's a shame this won't help with my hangover. The fucking phone. Okay. I know I'm late. I'll be there soon. It's not like the dead are impatient.
Jack, no.
Alice? Who is this?
It's Charlotte Graves.
Oh. God, I'm sorry. I didn't recognize you. I thought it was work calling.
It's okay. I hate it when work calls me at home, too. How is everything? We haven't talked since... you know.
Well, there are good days, and there are bad days. What can I say? At least I can hide away at work.
Well, you always were the most comfortable in the dissecting room. Listen, I have an unusual request.
Okay, how can I help?
It's nothing serious. I just wanted to ask, do you have any pictures of Alice? Maybe one where the two of us are together? I'd love to have something to remind me of her.
I guess. I'm not sure. I'll look through her things.
Thank you. I'm sorry to trouble you with this. All this can't be easy for you.
I'll get through it somehow. I've been
So she
meaning to
must
sort through her stuff for a
recently
while.
died.
Have you asked Stephen if he has anything?
Yes, I spoke with him this morning. He said he gave everything to their mother and that I should ask you.
I see.
Jack, I know you're trying. That you cope somehow. Stephen's there for you. Although, well, we all know how he can be. But, I mean, if
What
you
up, Too
wanted to
Skinny?
reminisce about Alice, talk.
I really should go now. I overslept, I'm late for work, and I still have some errands to run on the way.
Oh. Okay, sure. Sorry to keep you.
I'll look for something and send it over. Thanks for the call, and bye.
Oh, do you have my address?
Not on hand. You'd best remind me again.
292 Browning Lane, apartment 432, Johnson City, New York, 13790.
Got it. Thanks.
Thank you. It would mean a lot to me. Just miss her so much.
Yeah, me too. And that's okay. Really, no problem.
Thank you. Take care, Jack.
You too, Charlotte. It was nice to hear you. Well, that was a bit unexpected. I should probably find something to send.
Find a photo of Alice and an envelope to send to Charlotte. If I was an envelope, where would I be?
The remnants of last night's binge with Steven. I'm not sure if it's still edible. Menu for today: dinner in town and takeaway coffee.
And it was a loud close.
Some days, I just feel like setting fire to all this paperwork. I'm fed up with it.
Grab it. Bro, I thought you said you were late for work. Find the envelope. Give it
It's
20
been
minutes.
almost a year. It's always good to have something for a rainy day.
Damn.
I wasn't able to support her through this. She always believed she could change people for the better. Even me. She got it for her first day of work, and she broke it the same day. She said it was for luck. Till death do us part. Alice and Charlotte in Amsterdam.
Alright, there we go. He's got a pregnancy test in there. Yeah, I guess she was pregnant. Maybe
It would
she,
be better if Charlotte had this.
maybe she
It
had
deserves
an
to be on display,
abortion or something.
not hidden in a drawer.
Because he doesn't have a kid. Okay, so where would I find the envelope? Where would one keep envelopes? What is that? Over here? Find a photo. I got a photo.
They certainly have more will to live than I do. I still feel uneasy. At this time, Alice would probably be sitting here reading a book.
Hello?
I'm not in the mood for music lately.
Bro, where would I keep an envelope? Oh, there we go. Okay.
Okay, time to go to work. I'm seriously late. Oh shit. Almost I should grab some coffee and aspirin on the way.
Bro, I didn't think about that before he came out in the hallway. I didn't even shut my door. Where is the coffee? I guess I'd pick it up on the way.
Standard correspondence consisting of bills, advertising leaflets, and pious reminders about the upcoming end of the world. Standard correspondence consisting of bills, advertising leaflets, and pious reminders about the upcoming end of the world.
I guess I don't put him in there. To be a guy who works as a mortician or wherever he works, he lives in a shitty part of town.
I hope this helps, Charlotte. Okay, all done here. Time to go.
Get in the car. Which car is mine?
Damn, I forgot my jacket. Ah, well. I'll brave it for tonight. Too bad.
Bro, forgetting everything.
Nice and fresh. At least it's peaceful here.
He said he was late for work, right? He left in the daytime and it's nighttime. Hey, where the hell you work at, bro? Like, how far, rather?
Good evening, Mr. Ridley. Has Steven delivered the body?
Mm-hmm.
Did he leave it where he usually does?
Uh-huh.
As always, it's a real pleasure talking to you.
If you say so.
Some corpses have more personality than this guy. Christ. Who leaves the window open in the middle of November? So I'd better check the answering machine. Mom always said not to accept sweets from strangers. I don't understand why you can't just smoke outside.
So what is he, shared his office?
Hi, Jack. I dropped by a little early today. I left the body with Ridley in the corridor. He wasn't sitting in the locker then, so maybe he'll even throw him into the room. Well, how are you doing? Yeah, I mean, it's your first birthday without her, and... I still have a hangover, and you know me, I run to the John like the neighbor's fucking dog. You know, today I slipped on his shit again. That fucking furball. He always has to shit next to my car. Anyway, I can't come over in the evening, but we'll catch up on the weekend, okay? Bye. I almost forgot. Charlotte called me this morning. She asked about you, so answer your calls, Jack. This time it's not a reprimand for being late.
That's par for the course. I wonder when this clown will learn to look under his feet. Birthday. I actually forgot it was today. Alice baked me muffins like these every birthday. Okay, joke's over. Apron, gloves, and get to work.
Okay, where's my apron gloves? Do I have them on? No, I don't. I'm gonna assume it's in here. Yep.
I need to order another batch of these. I've got to remember to do that later.
My goggles.
Ah, man. I remember you. You were on that talent show. What was your name again? Steven laughs at me for recording everything. He says I have a bigger collection of stuff like this than most of the creeps he's caught. November 21st, 1991. Time, 9:13 p.m. The autopsy is conducted by Jack Hanman. Lecture for the Medical University of Missouri. After yesterday's lecture, you should already know the ins and outs, so today we'll be consolidating our knowledge. So, where do I start? That's right, police folder. Ah, yes, Samantha Barker. Now I remember. There's probably going to be a lot of chatter about this. After her first album became a commercial success, she was hit with a creative drought. She suffered panic attacks and severe sleep problems. Drugs and medication came into play. Found in her own apartment by police patrol. Officers were called by a concerned friend of the deceased, who had been unable to contact Barker for several days. During the interrogation, a friend of the deceased admitted that Samantha never got to grips with the sudden fame that came after winning such a high-profile talent show. The deceased was found in her own apartment, in a semi-recumbent position.
Probably overdosed.
Large quantities of alcohol and empty packets of sleeping pills were also found in the apartment. When questioned, friends admitted that Samantha's last days before losing contact seemed extremely happy and relaxed. She also quit drinking alcohol and mentioned something about rehab. The friend also admits that there was no indication of an impending tragedy. Well, let's see what settled this matter. As you can see, the body is fully clothed. Therefore, before we move on to photographic documentation, we must remove the clothes. This time, we don't have to focus on the clothes too much. However, there are cases where clothing analysis can lead to the cause of death.
Where's my camera?
Okay, now we can continue with the examination. Again, begin by taking photographs of the cadaver. I guarantee that over time it will cease being embarrassing for you. First, we photograph the whole body.
How do I... Whatever.
And now, any suspicious looking marks or wounds. Interesting. Very uneven. We need to investigate this. Yes, I've seen this many times. Well, there's even more here. You don't get such bruises from a normal contusion. A few we will need to look into here.
Alright. God damn it.
Notes prepared. Time to take a closer look. The number of bruises suggests that there may have been some kind of tussle. Some furrows have imprinted more strongly, others less, as if someone was undecided. Such bruises are caused by either a very heavy blow or by some internal issues. And here's something interesting. The skin of the deceased is covered with numerous blisters. Some of them are ruptured, others still contain fluid residue. More numerous blisters. We have some leads to investigate here. Let's write this down.
Where's my clipboard? Clipboard. Okay.
On the neck of the deceased, we can see clear furrows, indicating that strangulation may be the probable cause of death. Currently, it's difficult to say whether the bruises were the result of a beating or whether it could be some kind of internal bleeding. Given the condition of the deceased, it's difficult to tell immediately whether the bruises were the result of a struggle or perhaps the result of iron deficiency. In general, such blisters usually appear in the case of mechanical abrasions, but due to the place of occurrence, this should be excluded. The most likely cause of such skin changes is the high concentration of barbiturates in the body. Although it's easier to have abrasions on your feet, but the number and size of the blisters suggests that it's probably a matter of barbiturate poisoning. I'll add barbiturates to the list of necessary tests, to be checked in the lab later. A severed spinal cord, trauma to the larynx, or trachea will verify whether the hanging was the final nail in Miss Barker's coffin. The examination with a UV lamp will dispel some doubts. Potential attackers could have left traces. After examining the organs, we can easily verify whether there was internal bleeding or whether the deceased was suffering from something. But first I'll check for external traces. For this we use the good old UV lamp. I look carefully at the whole body. The area around the head is empty. Torso, empty without marks. Right hand clean. The left hand seems to be fine. No marks. Legs? There's nothing here. Ah, well, nothing to surprise us here. Now gently, we take the deceased by the hand. And we check for rigor mortis. Again, the hand falls freely. Since we don't have a definitive lead, we will examine all the key organs one by one. So, I'm starting the internal inspection.
Tools. Oh.
I dissect the skin of the deceased.
Did I miss something? What the hell?
And I proceed to deflect the skin flaps. Compared with yesterday's body, the deceased has only trace amounts of adipose tissue.
Bro, come on, man.
Now for the ribs. What do we have here? Or rather, what don't we have? There is certainly no sign of internal bleeding. Before I disembowel the deceased, I will take samples for toxicological tests to determine the alcohol content in the body. I just need my syringe. Just to be sure, I'm taking samples from 3 organs: the eyeball, the heart, and the bladder. Analysis will rule out, or confirm, alcohol poisoning as the cause of death. I'll transfer these to the centrifuge.
Why do I leave that in there? But it's 5 and 70, or 15 and 70.
What was it? 15, 70?
Yeah.
10, 75?
I think it's 1570.
My old but ideal for all the fluid tests I need to perform during an autopsy. My old
So
but
they won't-
trusted centrifuge.
They won't let me do
Ideal
it
for all the fluid tests I
without
need
the
to perform
notebook, I
during an
guess, even though I
autopsy.
remember it.
Numbers have never been my strong point. It's probably why I regularly forgot birthdays and anniversaries. I'm lucky Alice always forgave me. Gently does it with this old thing. Handle with kid gloves. I'm starting the centrifuge. Let's see what results come out. The laboratory is already open, so... Fucking hell! Ridley! Mr. Ridley! The fuses need resetting. Where is he? Fuck it. I'll do it myself.
Who the hell is that? Telling me we ain't got no flashlight.
First the right, and then the left. And voila. Oh, for fuck's sake. Can't I work, you people? Jack Hanman speaking.
Easy, why so rude?
Steve? Sorry, man. This place is falling apart, and Ridley won't even lift a finger to help. You just can't work here.
Did the centrifuge strip the fuses again?
Yeah, eventually everything's gonna go up in smoke.
Look on the bright side. It's a free cremation with your autopsy.
Jesus, stop it. That shit pisses me off.
Okay, sorry, Jack. Anyway, I'm calling to ask how the autopsy's going. Soon there'll be journalists sniffing around for info, so best be ready.
I'll whiz through this in a couple of hours. It doesn't look like a complicated case to me. More of a formality. The report will be available in the morning.
Sounds great. Thanks. Phew! How's your head?
Well, my head seems better than yours. On the way to work.
Holy fuck.
What? What's happening?
Quiet.
A
Be right
three-car
back.
police convoy
DVD with
was
Tommy?
involved in an
Huh?
accident
DVD with
near
Tommy?
Pete's Bay Bridge.
I might join y'all in a
Transporting
little while.
prisoners to
If y'all
Orleans
want
Parish
still.
Prison.
We might be doing
At the
customs,
moment,
because we're
we
gonna
do
have
not know the
through
exact
20.
number of
Gotcha.
victims
But I'll
or
let you know
whether
if we
any
know.
of the convicts escaped. However, the scale of the accident indicates a large number of victims, possibly even fatal ones. Police are on their way to investigate the incident and secure the area. We know that the injured prisoners are on death row. The police were to transport them to their execution, which was to take place tomorrow morning. Many of them are very dangerous criminals. We will report on the matter on an ongoing basis, so stay tuned with us.
What? Steven, was Red Pete one of the passengers? He was, wasn't he? What if he survived?
Jack, I have to go. You want me on site?
What if he survived?
I gotta go. Talk to you later, okay?
Fuck. Calm down, Jack. Pills. I need my pills. You heard him, Jack. A serious accident. Yes. Nothing's going to happen.
Take your pill, bro. Calm down.
Christ.
I mean, this motherfucker.
I've got to get back to work.
That's weird.
Technical break. At least I know I can pursue a career as a janitor if I need to. My own but trusted centrifuge. Ideal for all the fluid tests I need to perform during an autopsy. Alright, let's see if we were able to get anything out of this piece of crap. And miraculously, yes, the samples did spin. I'll transfer them to the chromograph in the lab.
Rack. What rack?
All right, let's load this up. I placed the test tubes in the rack. Now, just take 5 milliliters from each. Precisely. And the next. Five more. We put the prepared sample into the machine. Let's see what we have here. The results indicate that the deceased did consume alcohol shortly before her death. However, this is not an amount that could cause...
Hey, what up, Shawnee?
Just slight inebriation.
Happy 4th.
I can return to the body and continue the rest of the examination. The chromatograph results show that we can eliminate alcohol poisoning from our list of potential causes of death. However, remember that alcohol can affect the functioning of the entire body.
Okay. So now...
It disturbs the heart rhythm, accelerating its rate, and dilutes the blood, which may result in more severe bleeding in the event of an accident. Also remember that alcohol affects the metabolism of drugs in the liver, which I'll now look at in more detail.
Happy 4th, brother. I hear the firing off the bombs where you at too? Yep. They'll be doing that all
First,
night.
I'll pick up the syringe again. I'll take samples from the liver and the heart to test the concentration of barbiturates in the body. That's enough. I'll do the test later. I'd best not try my luck with the centrifuge right now. Now I remove the liver. No lesions. However, it is slightly enlarged. Perhaps it's a slight inflammation. Or
Oh,
drug-induced
word.
damage. It may also be the result of the deposition
You
of
off? You at
substances
work or
from
you off?
drugs. Let's check the weight of the organ.
Okay, so where we're gonna do that at? Wait. Scale.
The weight is 1,300 grams. The liver is enlarged. I'll move on to a cross-sectional study. Perhaps the enlargement is the result of early cancerous changes. The blade glides through smoothly. I don't feel like I'm encountering any changes with an unusual structure. No steatosis or cirrhosis.
Yep, Marv just chilling. Let me know if you want to get into something later. Gotcha, gotcha. Wait, what am I doing?
The liver is basically healthy. We already know that the deceased didn't abuse alcohol. The question is, what about drugs or other substances? I move on to the heart. Oh. At a glance, we can see signs of a heart attack. The deceased is definitely too young to have a heart attack due to natural causes. The liver is enlarged, not from alcohol poisoning, and the heart looks like it has collapsed. So, I guess we need to go to the centrifuge and check for these barbiturates.
Okay. I might try out this Diablo 4 we got for free. Wait, when did that come out? This month? I need to go ahead and add that to my library.
I wonder how she was able to get hold of these drugs. The last time I saw this kind of poisoning was a few years ago. He was a middle-aged guy. He took his medication and forgot about it. So he took another pill. He forgot again and took another one. And another one. Until he took the last one. That's why it's better to have amnesic drugs in boxes labeled with the days of the week. This sort of thing rarely happens anymore. Doctors tend to prescribe benzodiazepines. They are safer, but still shouldn't be combined with alcohol.
Okay, it's already on 70. Apparently it's supposed to be fun with friends. Oh, it's multiplayer. I'll give it an install. Speed, time, presence of alcohol in the blood. Change page. I'm 1075. 1075.
We close the centrifuge and pray that it doesn't trip anything again. It looks like our luck is in. We can take the samples to the lab now.
Okay. To the lab we go. Better not see the body running back there. Going over here.
Okay, 2 samples this time.
You might be cooked. It's 128 gigabytes. I think I got like, I don't know, I have to look actually, because I did re-download ARC, but I should be good. I should be good. Should be good. Hopefully, let's see. 6. Okay. 12. Okay. Like sample.
Well, let's see how much of it we find.
Okay.
Nothing surprising. Significant amounts of phenobarbital metabolites of hepatic origin.
Okay, so what is that? English, sir.
Looks like I'll have to check the contents of the deceased's stomach. The tests showed that the collected blood contained enough barbiturates to cause cardiopulmonary collapse. The question now is whether it was an
Hypoxia
accident
due to
or a deliberate
overdose
act.
of barbiturates, which causes respiratory depression. Okay.
I'm proceeding to examine the stomach. Before extraction, I ligate the entire organ to prevent its contents from spilling out. Okay, I'm now cutting out the organ, which will move to the board for dissection.
Okay. How do I get to it? Alright, section. Disgusting.
Normally, the stomach and intestines are full of surprises.
Yeah, well, let's see what we got here. $128 gigabytes though, huh? I thought PlayStation 5 games were supposed to be smaller.
This time, we see remnants of undigested food and a dense mass of pills. You don't take this many drugs by accident.
Nah, you do not.
Length and width normal. No obvious pathological changes. Undigested drugs found in the stomach of the deceased. The direct cause of death was probably an overdose. I'll check the rest of the organs, and then the nervous system. We'll see how significant the marks on the neck are for the whole case. The deceased's trachea is normal. Complete patency. No, lungs are normal. No lesions. The victim was probably a smoker,
What is this?
but was unlikely to be in any serious danger. The deceased's intestine is normal. No clear pathological changes. Abdominal cavity checked off. We can check the brain. I make a cut to open the lid of the victim's skull and remove the brain. Brain is normal. No obvious lesions. Alright. I need to dissect it on a board.
Right. So this is what happens when you ask. That's crazy.
Using a knife, I carefully cut through the brain tissue. As expected, the deceased's brain is in excellent condition. No discoloration or changes due to hypoxia. There is still the matter of the marks on the neck. They look superficial, but who knows? Maybe the spinal cord has been severed. I need goggles and a saber saw. I think the goggles were in the desk drawer.
Why didn't we
Alice.
have these on already?
Saw. I need saw. Oh, I know. I probably left it in the basement after its last cleaning.
I have a feeling something's gonna happen. I don't know what it is about this hallway, but it gets laggy when I come out here. Homer. Aren't you Ridley? Hey, bruh.
Mr. Ridley,
Wow.
I need a key to the basement.
It's in the social room.
Why is the key lying at the... Nah, never mind. Thank you.
Hey, Hammond. Did you hear about the convoy? Well, maybe you'll get a chance to relive your glory days and catch Red Beat again, huh?
Let's hope there won't be a need for that.
Let's hope there will be a need for that. Oh, it's like it's unreal. Where's the social? This ain't it. Ain't that many rooms in here. That's definitely not a social room.
If only he could put that much enthusiasm into his work.
Oh, what are you doing?
I get the feeling that searching through this rubbish is more pathogenic than working with corpses. Please, may this be the last trip.
Alright, so where's the basement? Yeah, I really don't think I go out here.
Fuck. Why did the prison convoy have to get into an accident? Jack, take a deep breath. Deep, pleasantly cool breath.
It'd be nice if they told me where the basement was. There's the lab. Bathroom. My office. Where's the basement? Because I don't think there's no other way to move around here. Everything in here is just the autopsy room. Office. Oh, I don't know why it's so laggy out here. I have to change the settings next playthrough. Just want to get to the basement. Maybe it is outside, I guess. About to find out. Garbage. Garage. Yep, the basement's outside. Interesting.
Nearly finished with the autopsy. Then you can go home and rest. I'll take the saw. I'll check. Fuck! It's jammed! Doesn't anyone do maintenance around here? Damn hatch. Damn red Pete. Will I ever again?
Okay, well,
Will I ever be free?
yeah, I
of
guess
that
I gotta
fucker?
use the controller for this.
If only.
Where am I?
Forgot this thing was standing here. Easier if I put things away properly.
How do you be at work, working at morgue and get jump
Damn
scared?
student lectures and their fucking props.
Alright, I guess we just leave it open. I think old boy needs his medicine. I definitely gotta turn down the settings a little more, I guess. But this is insane.
Sorry for the short interruption. I hope you all took the opportunity to grab some coffee. And now that I have everything I need, I'll move on to revealing the spinal cord.
What would represent X on the keyboard? Huh, okay, I guess I gotta use my actual controller.
The spine is removed.
Oh, I'm down.
My head.
Yeah, I thought so.
Oh, I can't think straight.
Gotta go get his pills.
Pills. Where are my pills?
Okay, more pills to Max Payne.
I can see that the spinal cord was not severed. This shows that apart from the marks around the neck, hanging didn't negatively affect the condition of the deceased. Ladies and gentlemen, almost over. Now, to sum up and tidy away the body. The direct cause of Samantha Barker's death was a heart attack resulting from an overdose of barbiturates. Traces found on the body suggest that the overdose was a deliberate act, following a failed attempt to hang herself. The autopsy found no evidence or genetic materials indicating that death could have been the result of an attack. Third-party involvement must be excluded. Autograph, and we can start sewing.
Okay.
In the 1950s and 1960s, the use of barbiturates for suicide was actually quite common. I think it was most talked about after the death of Marilyn Monroe. At home, it was a help and comfort. On death row, a farewell to the convicts. Well, that's the way it goes. It isn't the drug, but the dose that makes the poison.
Oh, okay.
Well, we're done for today. Thank you for your attention. Tiring day. I can feel those hunger pains coming on. I guess I'll have to pick something up along the way.
We'll go ahead and go home, save, and yeah, I'll end it there. I'll be back with something else.
A nightcap will do me good. Good night, Mr. Ridley. The police will pick up the body and accompanying documentation in the morning.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
I guess there are actually two things in this world you can be certain of. Death and Ridley's reluctant attitude. Alright, maybe three things. My whiskey on the rocks when I get home.
Alright, we'll let that save.
So cold. I guess I should have brought my jacket to work.
I think I asked my.
This block can be quite intimidating when it's so quiet.
I don't even know where I stay on. Okay, this is the third floor. Don't remember seeing this. Okay.
What? What? What the fuck? But I locked it. I'm sure of it.
Hey. Alright, let her try.